Okay, good morning. Nice, relaxed stretching session. We're going to do some of the stretches we did before, some new ones as well. So we'll start off. I'll put some music on in the background and we'll start just off with a few mobility exercises for those shoulders before we get going. So take a couple of deep breaths. Get yourselves relaxed and ready for this. We'll start with a little roll round on one shoulder. Just rolling the shoulder round, loosening up one side. Yeah, nice and slow. Think about getting as much range of motion into that shoulder roll as you can. Right up so it hunches up, round in a circle. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. So same thing on the other side. Just rolling that shoulder round, loosening up. Oh, nice. And don't forget, when we're doing these classes, the breathing is the important thing. Long, slow breaths. So let's take a few breaths. And what I want you to do is, as you inhale, nice and slow, and just shrug your shoulders up. And then as you exhale, just let them completely relax down. Let gravity just pull your arms down towards the floor and relax down. We'll do 2 or 3 deep breaths like that, shrugging and relaxing. So inhale and shrug. Exhale and drop down. And again, inhale and shrug. Exhale, drop down. One more time. Inhale, shrug up. And then exhale, let that tension release and relax as those shoulders drop down towards the floor. Ooh. Let's do just a couple of rotations. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, rotate the arms outwards and look up. Breathe out. Roll the hands backwards and look down. Your shoulders are going to rotate outwards. Open up the chest. And then forwards. And we open up the back, separating out the shoulder blades. Let's do that a couple more times, nice and slowly. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And have a little shake up. Excellent. I'm just going to just have a bit more music, a bit louder next time. So let's do a bit more energetic warm-ups for those shoulders. So instead of doing a little shoulder roll, we're going to do a nice big circle round with one side and then the other side and a figure of 8. So let's go. Big circle with one side. And then into a figure of 8. Swooping round. You know what to do. Dun, dun. Fantastic. Other side. Big circles first. And a figure of 8. No, none of my classes are complete without a twizzle. So we are going to do our twizzle, but really slowly. Just turn your head, look round behind you. Arms relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Deep breathing. Fantastic. Now take one hand onto your hip, take the other hand up in the air, have a big stretch across. We're just going to hold this stretch here. So really leaning out. Now, try not to tilt your body forwards. We're going to be sideways on, so you feel a stretch down through the side of your lats and your obliques. And we're going to push that arm out as far as you can, stretching out. See if you can just take it a little bit further, like you're reaching out towards the wall. Let's do the other side. Reaching out the other way. Oh, big stretch. Fabulous. Let's reach a little bit further. Oh. And we're going to do now what we finished with last week. We're going to do some neck stretches. So all I want to do is start off by turning the head to one side, looking over to one side, and hold it there. So we just get a little rotation through the neck. Keep breathing, long, slow, deep breaths. There's Caroline, good morning. Good morning. We're just doing some warm-up stretches. Okay, turn the other way, face the other way, just turn your neck. Look the other way, wow. See how far you can look around without the rest of your body moving. Keep the rest of your body facing forwards, turning your head, looking over your shoulder if you can. And back to the middle. Now we're going to tilt the head sideways. So imagine you're trying to get your ear onto your shoulder, and we're just going to tilt sideways like this, and ear comes down towards the shoulders. We're going to get a nice stretch in through your traps here, as we did last week. Yeah, so just... If you end up with if you have a stiff neck like I do some mornings, you should really do these every day. These are really good to do every day. So yeah, I've just gone over to the other side. If you haven't gone over to the other side already, go to the other side. Back to the middle. And finally, drop your chin down towards your chest. Keeping your chin tucked in, look up to one side. Keeping the chin tucked in, up to the other side. Back to the middle. And head up. Excellent. Excellent. So we're going to continue with what we were doing last couple of weeks, which is lower back and hamstring stretches. We are going to do that forward fold. Okay, so the forward fold, this is really gentle, but we're going to try and just get a little bit further with this every week. So you will be standing with your feet firmly on the floor, feet about hip width apart, on your mat or on the floor. When we go into our forward fold, remember it's not a competition to see who can touch their hands onto the floor. It's just a relaxed, hanging position, letting gravity do all the work. So let's start with me. Take a deep breath in and raise your arms up. Take a deep breath out and let your body just flop forwards. We're not reaching down towards the floor at this stage. We're just going to let your arms just hang down in front of your legs. Wherever they end up is fine. Okay, at this stage in the class, we don't want to push it too much. We just want to let gravity do its job. So while we're here, we're going to do 2 or 3 inhale, exhale cycles. As you inhale, you don't need to do anything, but as you exhale, I want you to just allow gravity to pull you down a little bit more. It might just be a few millimeters, a few centimeters. It doesn't matter. If your hands touch the floor, don't worry. We can just lift your hands up away from the floor and let your body hang down. Gravity is going to do all the work. So inhale. As you exhale, let gravity sink you down towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to do one more before we stand up. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, we're going to unfold slowly. So unfold slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring your arms right up above your head. And then as you exhale, we'll bring those arms back down to the sides. Excellent. We are going to do this again. We're going to hold it a little bit longer. Now, I don't want you to worry about touching the floor, touching your toes. That's not what it's about. So all we're going to do is we're going to grip the elbows and we're going to be hanging down like this with the arms crossed. Okay, you can just cross your arms over like this, or you can grip your elbows on the outside. Either way, we're just going to let gravity put us down. We're not going to be reaching down towards the floor. So with our arms like this, we'll start just with an inhale on the spot. So inhale. As we exhale, start folding forwards. Now I want to keep your legs straight. Don't bend your knees. Even if you're tempted to bend your knees, the idea is that we get a stretch through the hamstrings and we just hang down. We're going to hold it here for a good 3, 4, 5 breaths. Again, as you exhale, let your body just sink down towards the floor. Take your breathing in your own time, but make sure it's slow. Make sure you're breathing slowly in and out through your nose. Letting gravity pull you down on the exhale. You should be feeling a stretching sensation in the back of your legs, maybe behind your knees. That's okay. And try not to let your lower back restrict you. Think about relaxing your lower back, even your upper back, just to let those shoulders drop down towards the floor and feel that stretching and that relaxation just work its way down through your lower back, down into your bum, into the backs of your legs, and even behind the knees. Two more deep breaths and then we'll unfold slowly. And then when you reach your next inhale, we're going to unfold slowly on an inhale. And then on the exhale, just relax your arms down. Very good. Very good. Hopefully, like I'm actually feeling that even just doing this once a week is really for opening up and freeing my lower back and stretching my hamstrings. So really good news on that. We're going to do another forward fold, but this time we're going to do a twist. We haven't done these for a while. I think 2021 was the last time we did these. So I'll show you first. We'll give you a reminder. We are going to do an inhale. We're going to do an exhale, and then into that forward fold position, we're going to grip one leg with one hand, and the other arm is going to twist up towards the ceiling. Okay. Now the one that you're holding on to, if that knee bends slightly, that is okay to allow you to stretch right up. So let's do that straight away. So with me, big inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Feet should be fairly close together, about hip width apart. Now we've already stretched the back, so you should be able to get a bit lower now. Hands onto your legs. Now if you can reach your ankle, that's great. If not, if it's on the shin, it doesn't matter, like mine. And then grip one. The other arm is going to twist up towards the ceiling, and we're going to try and get that arm vertical, and we're going to hold it here for a breath. A little twist through your lower back is a good thing. Freeze it up. As you exhale, bring your arm down. Before we do the other side, we are going to stand up again. So inhale, unfold. Exhale, arms down. We'll go straight into it again, and we'll do the other side on the twist. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. This time on the other side, one hand onto the leg, other hand twists up. Hold it for a breath. Bring your arm down. Big inhale as we unfold. Exhale, arms down. We are going to do that again on each side. So straight away, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist up, back to the first side. Hold it here. One exhale. One inhale. On your next exhale, bring your arm down. Inhale, unfold. Exhale, arms down. Last time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist. Inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, bring your arm down. Inhale, unfold. Exhale, arms down. Excuse me a second. There's a little insect on my mat walking towards my foot. It's like a little wood lice or something. Fantastic. One more forward fold. So, without the twist to finish off the sequence. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We're just going to hang it this time. See how we're getting on. Let's see how close those fingers are towards the floor. Mine are actually not far away now. Much better than when we started, but it's not a competition to see who can get lowest. If your fingers are on the floor, maybe try and get your hands on the floor. If your hands are on the floor and it's easy, get your elbows on the floor. And a couple more inhale, exhale cycles in your own time. When you reach your next inhale, unfold slowly. And then exhale as we bring the arms back down. A little shake out. Cool. Excellent. We're going to be on the floor next. Now, you might not need a towel. We're going to do the hamstring stretches lying on your back on the floor that we did last week. So, I've thought ahead on this week, and I've got a slightly longer towel than I had last week. So hopefully, this is going to help me with these stretches. If you can do a hamstring stretch without the towel, that's okay. But let's get down on the floor. Make sure you can see me, and lie on your back, and have a towel handy. Da-da-da. So first of all, let's talk about this stretch. Hands are going to be on the floor. Now, it's quite nice just to lie on the floor first and have a little relax. We will be using the hands to put in the legs. So basically, one leg is going to stay stretched out on the floor, and the other leg is going to lift up, and we're going to put the hands behind the thigh, or the ankle, or the calf, and pull in. You can see how my knee's bending. We don't want that knee to bend really. So I'm going to take the towel, put it round behind my ankle and use that to pull to make sure I get the stretch in the back of the leg. You'll feel it maybe behind your knee. If you feel too much tension behind your knee, I would say an almost imperceptible bend of the knee will relax it slightly, but we don't want to be bending too much. And we're just going to be holding this stretch for a minute or so. So one hand or two hands behind your leg or on the towel. Also, you can put the towel around your foot if that's easier. See, I've got the towel around my foot now. So I'm just going to stand up now and take a look at you guys that I can see on Zoom to see how you're doing. So hold the stretch there for me. Very good. Okay, both of you, I'm seeing your leg is pretty vertical, which is good. Yeah, that's ideal, and yeah, pulling in a little bit more, but that's really nice. Using that towel and the leg is nice and straight. So I would say that's a really good position. Make sure you don't hold your breath, so breathe for me a couple of deep breaths. And when I say, we will just relax it down gently, really slowly coming out of the stretch when we get that far. So on your next breath, once you reach your exhale, I want you to ease off and let the tension come off by bending the knee. So we exhale, we just bend the knee a little bit so the tension comes off, and then we can release the leg and let it go back down onto the floor. Amazing. Shall we do the other side? We'll take our time on the other side as well. So again, one leg straight on the floor, other leg lifts up, try and keep the leg straight at the knee. You will probably find one is more flexible than the other. One side is going to be easier, but don't worry. No one's perfectly symmetrical in flexibility or strength or anything really. So, use the towel if you need to. And ideally your head should be resting on the floor. Mine's nowhere near because I need an even longer towel. But ideally, yeah, you should just rest your head down on the floor. And yeah, pulling in with one hand is okay. I did say right at the beginning that the knee should be straight. Now, if there's a little bend in the knee like I've got, as long as you're still feeling the stretch in your hamstring, the back of your leg, then that's okay. Okay, means you're still getting that stretch. But just by trying to straighten out the knee a little bit, you'll feel the stretch a little bit more intense. So a couple more breaths. Pull in a little bit tighter if you can. When you reach your next exhale, we're just going to bend that knee, take the tension off. And then we're going to lower the legs slowly down to the floor. Oh. Let the foot rest down on the floor. Relax your arms back down to your sides. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Very good. Okay, we're going to do a new stretch now that we haven't done for a while, or if at all. You will need to stand up, I'm afraid, but I'm going to give you two versions of this stretch. the simple version and the advanced version. The advanced version will be on the floor. The simple version will be standing up. We're going to do a quadricep stretch. Okay, so we'll stand up. You can do this just balancing on one leg, or you can use a chair for support. Okay, so I'm going to just grab a chair because this isn't about balancing. Okay, we don't want to use this as a balancing exercise. We want to use this as a stretching exercise. So unless you can balance really easily, we're going to use that chair, yeah, just for support. Now let's just come down a little bit so you can see my leg. Da da da. Have the towel handy. Now we're stretching out the quadricep. So the idea is that you bring your heel up behind, you put your hand around your foot, and you pull in. This is going to stretch the quadricep, the front of the leg, opposite to the stretch we've just done. Now if you can't reach your ankle, you can use your towel like this. I think no one here needs to do that, but some people just a little bit of a towel so that you can reach your ankle. Now it's really important that you feel the stretch here in your quadriceps and into your iliopsoas, which is your hip flexors. So to do that, I'll turn sideways. It's really important that you push your hips forwards and then take that knee back a little bit behind you. As that knee comes back, you'll feel this stretch more. So it's really important to get that posture right. We're not going to pull the knee back and lean forwards. That's not going to do anything. We're going to push the hips forwards, pull the heel in, and take the knee back. And we're going to hold this for about 20 seconds for now. And then we'll do the other side, and then we'll move on to the more advanced stretch. For those of you that want to do it. I don't, but we'll have a go. Remember to take the knee back. Hips forwards. Ow, that's good. Okay, release. That was 20 seconds. Let's do the other side standing up, and then we'll have a go on the floor. So same thing with the other leg. Heel comes up, hand round the bridge of your foot. We start off just with the back straight, pulling the heel in as tight as you can to your bum. We're then going to focus on pushing your hips forwards and then take the knee back a little bit behind. That one doesn't go so far on me, so we'll just do what we can. As I said earlier, if your balance is good, you could do this just balancing on one leg, but I like to really focus on the stretch and not worry about the balance. Going to hold that for another 20 seconds. Fantastic. Let's ease that foot down towards the floor. So that in itself is a really good way of stretching these quads out, but we are going to go through the more advanced version. If you struggle with this next one, come back to the standing up one, okay, and do that again. But I think it would be good just to go through this. You will be down on the floor, starting off kneeling down. Perfect. So we're kneeling on the floor, knees about hip width. And then with one foot, we're going to take a step forwards. Okay, so we're like in a sort of split squat position with 90 degrees on the front leg, 90 degrees pretty much on the back leg. Okay, now my right leg is forwards, so I'm going to take my left hand onto the floor next to my foot. Okay, now with my right hand, I'm going to grab my left ankle. So you can see how this is similar in that you're pulling your heel in towards your bum. Okay, all similar. But now we're going to pull that in. We're now Going to push your whole body weight forwards, like driving the hips forwards. And keeping the heel in, you'll feel a really good stretch in your quadricep again, a bit like we did when we're standing up. If you feel pressure on your knee, you could use a cushion, or you could simply do the standing up stretch. Let's hold this for another 20 seconds. Remember that the more you can get your hips forwards, your front knee forwards, the more intense the stretch will be. Make sure you keep breathing, inhaling, exhaling through your nose nice and slowly. Okay, let's release that side. And come back into a kneeling position and change sides. Let's do the other leg. So just to remember which hand to use, it's always the opposite hand. So if you're stretching your right leg and your right foot is behind you, you're going to use your left hand to pull it in. So it's a bit counterintuitive. You're going to be reaching across and pulling in with the opposite hand. So, hand around the bridge of your foot or your ankle, ideally the bridge of your foot. That will also give you a bit of plantar flexion in your ankle. That's what it's called when your foot extends out. We're going to pull that heel in towards your bum, and we are going to push the hips forwards again. You're almost going to come onto the front of your knee, the top part of your knee where it meets your leg. Oh. That made no sense, where your knee meets your leg. Let's hold it for another 20 seconds. Slowly inhaling, exhaling. The bonus of this one is that front leg, you get a little bit of inner thigh stretch as well. I'm feeling that now. A bit like the stretch we did last week. One more deep breath. And release. Slowly ease off the stretch. While we're in this position, we're just going to revisit that stretch I just mentioned that we did last week. Okay, now, some of you may remember that we did this either on the chair or on the floor. Let's all have a go on the floor today since we're already down here. I'll just run through it first and then we'll have a go together. So, starting in a press-up position, we bring one foot out to the side of the hand and we're just going to hold that position. Okay, so this is going to stretch your inner thigh under here and we're just going to hold that. So if you haven't done it already, the first thing is your press-up position. Second thing is to bring one foot all the way forward to the outside of your hand. It doesn't matter if your toe points outwards a little bit. Straighten out the other leg. Now my back is really curved. It shouldn't be. It should be a nice straight line. I'm just going to lift up onto my knuckles a little bit to help. And we're just going to hold it here for another 20 seconds. Very good. Let's change sides. Just going to drop my knee down, change legs. Up into your press up position. Foot comes forwards, next to the outside of that front hand and hold it there. Some people can get their elbows onto the floor on this stretch. If you can, amazing. Mine are I'm better off actually up on my knuckles for now, but gradually as we do this, we will get more flexible and will improve. So another 20 seconds. Breathing deeply. Think about maybe if you want to get more stretch, that front knee just comes forwards a little bit. Rock yourself forwards. Couple more deep breaths. And let's come out of the stretch there. That's 20 seconds. Excellent. Turn round and lie down on your back. We're going to do a few core exercises while we're here. There we go. Let's do some core exercises. We're going to do a reverse plank. A couple of weeks ago we did the plank. This is called a reverse plank. It's not actually a plank at all. Start with your hands on the floor. Stretch out your legs. Palms down. Body in a nice straight line. Now, it may help if you just push your feet together. Push your legs together so that they're touching. And we're going to bring the legs up to 45 degrees. So imagine your legs are outstretched at 45 degrees. This engages your core muscles really good. Your tummy has to engage, it's got no choice. And we're just going to hold that there if you can. Now, if we want to make it more challenging, here's what we do. We crawl the fingertips towards the wall, the opposite wall, and let your shoulders roll up off the floor. This is going to engage the abs even more. So head rolled forward, shoulders off the floor, legs at 45 degrees. If you struggle, let your head go back down, but try and keep those legs up. If you really struggle keeping the legs up, drop them slowly down to the floor like I'm doing now. And then when you feel ready, we can go back into that position. You guys are doing really well, really well. So everybody now, slowly let your legs go back down to the floor if you haven't already. And we're going to do it one more time. So take a couple of deep breaths. You know what you're in for this time. So we're going to try and hold this for 30 seconds this time. And when you're ready, lift your legs up to 45 degrees. No more, no less. And then if you want to, just roll your shoulders forward, pushing your hands forwards on the floor. And we'll do 30 seconds. Breathing slowly in through the nose, out through the nose. Another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let your feet just slowly, don't let them thump down suddenly, just drop them down slowly onto the floor. Rest your head back. That's a reverse plank. That's really good for your core. That's all we're doing on the core today. Next week, we'll still do some stretches. We're going to spend a lot more time on the core next week. So, we are going to stand up slowly. Slowly, slowly. We're nearly there. We've nearly finished. I'm going to just do a little bit more gentle breathing and relaxing at the end. So, oh, let me just adjust my camera. Oh, gone a bit wobbly now. That's not good, is it? So to finish, we'll do a couple of more slow breathing exercises like we did at the beginning. So you can close your eyes for this. You can just let your arms relax down and take a long, slow, deep breath in through your nose to the count of 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, open your hands outwards, look up. As you exhale, roll your shoulders forwards, turn your palms back, look down. Inhale, turn your hands outwards, look up. Exhale, roll your shoulders forwards, look down. I'm going to do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Fantastic. Take one hand in the air and grip your wrist with your other hand. So we're gripping the wrist like this with the palms facing forwards, gripping the, my watch is a little bit in the way, but we're going to do that. And take both hands over your head, and now with the hand that you're gripping with, you're going to pull sideways. So it's very much like the stretch we did at the beginning, but we're going to use the other hand to pull and stretch out. So you're pulling out with the other hand, really getting a good stretch down the side of your body. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. So grip the other wrist, pull over the other way, have a big stretch out. That's really good. Back to the middle, arms down. Brilliant. That's all we're going to do today. So I hope you feel like you've had a good stretch. I feel like my legs really stretched out. That feels really good. And when we stop this, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to tell you a little thing that happened to me yesterday while to you guys on Zoom. Really interesting. So let's have a sit down, have a chat. I will see you hopefully on Friday for Spritely, and more of this next week. Yeah, as I say, a bit more core exercises next week as well as the stretches. So thanks for joining in. I hope to see you soon, and I'm going to sit down and have a little chat with you. Oh, you can turn your microphones on Zoom, and we can have a little chat. So, before I started doing this 2 weeks ago, one of the reasons for me to start stretching more is because I was noticing that silly little things, just like sitting on the edge of the bed, getting my socks on. You know, I was just like, oh, that's a bit of a struggle. That's a bit of a struggle, let alone doing it standing up. Yesterday morning, I got up. I was getting ready for my Spritely class. I was in a bit of a hurry because I had a sleepless night, and then I did go to sleep, and then I overslept. And what I did is I stood up, I got my socks, lifted my foot up, put my sock on, standing up, balancing on one foot, did the other, and I thought, that's amazing. I couldn't do that 2 weeks ago. And it's just that hamstring stretch. Really, it's just the hamstring stretch. It's little things like that you sort of you think, oh, I'm not really changing. It's not making no difference. And then suddenly you're thinking, wow, just like putting that on or doing up my shoelaces without having to like put it up on a stair, which is what I always used to do, sitting on the stair, you know, putting your shoes on. Things like that you'll notice, and it doesn't take a lot. You know, even just once a week. I recommend more than once a week. I recommend you do these stretches 3-4 times a week. But even once a week, you're going to start feeling some benefits. That's my experience anyway, or maybe it's just psychological, but it did seem to be that getting my socks on was a lot easier. And when you get to my age, you wait. You just wait till you get to my age.